Okay, take a close look at this clip. After the Super Cup loss to Barcelona, Xabi Alonso ordered a guard of honor. One simple instruction, but the players didn't listen. Kylian Mbappe waved everyone away. You see, Real Madrid players ignoring Xabi Alonso, refusing to show respect. Now look at another clip from the past. Watch how Jude Bellingham reacts to Carlo Ancelotti. So let's be honest for a second. The problem was never Ancelotti. The problem was never Xabi Alonso. The real problem was the players and their egos. Because when players stop listening to the coach, when they start making decisions themselves, when one superstar controls the room, that's when a club like Real Madrid starts collapsing from the inside. This season was supposed to be domination. Instead, it turned into chaos. Back-to-back losses in major games, a shocking Copa del Rey exit to second division Albacete, and now, Real Madrid are struggling against small teams. Day by day, their aura is fading. No unity, no discipline, no control over games they once owned, and it didn't happen overnight. Vinicius Jr. stormed off the pitch earlier this season without acknowledging the bench. By January, even the Bernabeu crowd turned on their own stars.
That right there is the sound of the Bernabeu. I have not heard boos like this in maybe 20 years.
What the hell just happened at the Bernabeu right now? After Madrid players received one of the worst boos in football history from their own fans at Bernabeu, Vini might have ruined his career with one stupid move. Before kickoff, when all the players' names appeared, Madrid fans booed everyone. But the moment Vini's name showed up, the stadium was about to explode from whistles and insane boo game. Bernabeu fans were booing all the players, but Vini was the main target. After the final whistle, every Madrid player went over and apologized to the fans. But Vini refused to applaud the fans and walked straight down the tunnel.
Too many main characters and no clear hierarchy. On the pitch, things weren't better. Xabi Alonso tried to force a system that didn't fit the squad. High press, high line, collective discipline. But this team was built for individual magic, not constant sacrifice. Defenders left exposed, midfield overrun, attackers refusing to track back. And behind the scenes, another war. Antonio Pintus, the man who built Madrid's legendary fitness, was pushed aside. Fitness dropped, injuries piled up. Second halves became nightmares. By the time the board stepped in, it was already too late. Now Alvaro Arbeloa is here, trying to clean the mess. He won his first match, but the damage is deeper than results, because the biggest issue remains untouched. The superstars are still bigger than the system. Madrid chase big names, but never truly replace Modric and Kroos. The brains, the balance, the control. So now the questions are unavoidable. How long can this continue? Can Arbeloa really control this dressing room? Which positions are breaking Madrid again and again? So, let's dive more deeper into this. While the current crisis, January 2026, is the peak of the drama, the roots of the collapse started 2 years ago. Real Madrid's downfall officially began in the 2024-2025 season. The Phase 1 downfall was the first tactical error was Carlo Ancelotti tried to fit all the superstars, Mbappe, Vinicius, Rodrigo and Bellingham into one lineup. The result was a team split in two, 4 attackers who didn't defend and 6 defenders left exposed. Without Toni Kroos, the team lost its brain. There was no one to control the tempo. Possession dropped from 61% to 54% and pass accuracy plummeted. The ball moved too slowly to break down low blocks. Another problem was the left-wing war. Both Vinicius and Mbappe wanted to play in the same zones. Mbappe was forced to play as a central striker number 9, a role he visibly disliked, leading to poor body language on the pitch. And lastly, the Phase 2, the collapse in season 25-26. The board tried to fix the 2024 failure by hiring Xabi. This backfired, turning a tactical problem into a full locker room mutiny. Alonso demanded high-pressing Bundesliga-style football. The veteran stars refused to run that much. The squad was exhausted. The conflict between Alonso and fitness coach Antonio Pintus left the players physically fragile and prone to injury. The club continued to buy Galacticos, like Trent Alexander-Arnold, rather than the workhorse midfielders needed to balance the team. This left the squad incredibly talented, but tactically broken. Overall, it's clear the bad performance is not just a dip in form. It is a structural failure that began the moment Toni Kroos left and was never replaced. On paper, this Real Madrid squad looks perfect. 25 players, world-class names in every line, superstars, wonder kids, leaders, winners. But football is not played on paper. This squad exposed a brutal truth. Madrid don't lack talent. They lack balance. They lack control. And most importantly, they lack clarity in positions. Let's start at the back. Courtois remains the last wall. Without him, many matches would have ended in disaster. But in front of him, the cracks appear immediately. Militao is the anchor, yes, but he is constantly firefighting. Rudiger, now overworked and aging, is asked to cover space that should never exist. Alaba is now a rotation player. Injuries and age have taken their toll. New signing. Dean Huijsen has potential, but potential doesn't stop counterattacks in Champions League nights. The biggest problem is distance. The centre-backs are too far apart. One vertical pass, one quick transition, and Madrid are exposed again and again and again. Then comes the full-back chaos. On the right, Trent Alexander-Arnold arrived as a Galactico, creativity, passing, vision. On the left, Mendy offers security, while Carreras offers attack, so you can see Madrid don't have a left-back problem. Now the midfield, the heart of the collapse. This is where Madrid truly lost the game. Bellingham, Valverde, Camavinga, Tchouaméni. Incredible athletes, relentless runners, monsters in transitions. But Madrid are missing one thing, a player who slows the game, who decides when to breathe and when to kill. Since Toni Kroos left, no one controls tempo. The midfield plays at one speed only, fast. Against chaotic teams, Madrid dominate. Against organised teams, they panic. Passes become rushed, possession becomes useless, and because the midfield can't slow the game, the team breaks in half. Attack goes forward, defense stays behind, the space in between becomes a black hole. Midfielders are overworked, pressing becomes individual, not collective. This is why Madrid concede late goals. This is why they lose control after the 60th minute. This is why disciplined teams like FC Barcelona, Manchester City or Inter expose them without mercy. However, the upfront is pure fire. Vinicius and Mbappe, the two most dangerous players on the planet. Unstoppable individually. Vinicius owns the left. Mbappe wants the same space. Rodrigo is pushed to the right, sacrificing his natural instincts. The front three don't press as a unit. They attack in moments. The bench tells the same story. Brahim Diaz changes games but can't start consistently. Arda Güler can't find minutes. Mastantuono, too young, swallowed by pressure. Ceballos reduced to emergency depth. Even the youth players, Asensio, Jimenez, Gonzalo, opt into roles too early. This squad was built to attack fast, not dominate slowly. Talent is 10 out of 10. Midfield is powerful physically, but not enough tactically. The squad isn't the issue. What they lack is a smart, composed midfielder who can control the tempo. When they're in rhythm, they destroy opponents. But once confidence drops, their structure collapses and they lose control. And when we think about current tactics, there are three likely problems Madrid will face. Arbeloa is trying to play the same perfect 4-3-3 he used with the U19s. On paper, it looks beautiful. The first problem, Arbeloa wants his right back to act like a midfielder, someone who comes inside, controls the ball, and runs the game. Madrid have that player. They signed Trent Alexander-Arnold for exactly this reason. But Trent is in the clinic, so Arbeloa is forcing Lucas Vazquez or David Jimenez to play the Trent role. They try, but they don't have the vision. They clog the midfield. They push Valverde into useless spaces, and they completely kill the right flank. The second problem, the counter-attack nightmare. Because the full-backs are inverted and high, Madrid are left naked at the back. Now look at the centre-backs. Rudiger, Militao, they are aggressive. They love to step up and duel. But Arbeloa's system leaves them stranded in an ocean of space. So when Madrid lose the ball, it becomes 2 defenders versus 3 attackers. That's exactly what happened versus Albacete. Teams are not outplaying Madrid. They are just kicking the ball into the empty space and running. The third problem, the engine room crisis. Arbeloa wants slow control, but look at the engine room. Valverde, Camavinga, Bellingham. They are built to run, crash, and explode. You can see the frustration. They get the ball. Their instinct screams, go forward. But the system says, wait. That split second of hesitation kills the flow. Passing lanes close. The team looks robotic. And lastly, the final problem. Arbeloa demands a high press. Suffocate the opponent. But here's the reality check. Mbappe and Vinicius do not press. They save energy. They are waiting for the moment to kill, not working the shift. So what happens? The midfield presses high, the defense pushes up, but the attack stays relaxed. A massive gap opens up in the middle of the pitch. Opponents aren't scared of Madrid's press. They just stand in that gap and receive the ball. They are just running around chasing shadows. You can't run a system that needs 11 disciplined soldiers when your team is built around 3 free spirits. But Arbeloa wants control. When the system fights the stars always win. But let's be clear for a moment. The last 2 matches say everything. A 2-0 win over Levante and a dominant 6-1 victory against AS Monaco clearly show the team's quality and momentum. Real Madrid's problem is not talent, not effort, and not even just the coach. The real tactical problem is duplication and overlap. Many players want to play in the same zones, so the team loses shape, rhythm, and automatic movement. At this level of football, players must move without thinking. Right now, Madrid players are thinking too much, and that is why everything looks slow and disconnected. This happened because many signings were made for brand value, future potential, or opportunity, not purely for tactical balance. As a result, Madrid now have 3 players who prefer the left wing, 2 natural strikers, and 2 players who want the number 10 role. But football does not work like that. Only one player can own one space, so every match, someone is playing out of position. And when players are out of position, instinct disappears. Movements become forced, passing lanes close, and the team stops flowing. On the pitch, this overlap creates very clear problems. The midfield becomes crowded, the box becomes empty at the wrong moments, pressing loses coordination, and the right side of the attack dies. Madrid start games well but lose control quickly because the structure is not clear. This is why Madrid look like 11 great players instead of one great team. The comeback starts with one hard decision. Not every big name can start every match. Madrid must stop rotating positions and start rotating players. Roles must be fixed so players know exactly where to stand, when to move, and who attacks which space. Without that clarity, no system works. In attack, the logic must be simple. Vinicius stays on the left wing. This is non-negotiable. Mbappe plays centrally, attacking space instead of hugging the touchline. One striker plays and one sits, based on form. Forcing players like Rodrigo into unnatural roles only creates more imbalance. Comfortable players play faster football. In midfield, the structure matters even more. Jude Bellingham must play as a number 10, close to the box, arriving late, influencing games where it matters most. Pushing him wide or dropping him deep reduces his impact. Arda Güler should not be used as a pivot or defensive midfielder. He is a creative connector, effective between the lines, especially against low blocks. When he's placed too deep, he becomes disconnected from the attack and his best qualities are wasted. Behind them, Madrid needs stability. 2 midfielders must provide physicality, defensive balance, and continuity. Constant experiments only break rhythm. Stability creates confidence, and confidence creates control. The same logic applies to fullbacks. When Trent plays, the right side gains creativity. When he doesn't, the team must keep things simple, instead of forcing roles that do not fit the players available. Finally, the small details matter more than any formation. Once roles are clear and overlap is removed, this team does not just improve, it comes back strong, sharp, and dangerous again. So, what do you think can they win this season with this comeback? Share your opinion.